Hi, kids! Do you like science? No?
Well, I'll make you like science! Strap them down! Everyone will like science! That is my villain arc!
Well, that was an unhinged intro, wasn't it? Good evening, laddies, lasses, and lasses, and welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. And to celebrate you smelling so incredibly nice today, Morgan, yes indeed, Morgan. You thought I didn't notice your smell, Morgan? I noticed you put on effort for that smell, Morgan. Ah, yes, indeed. It's very nice, Morgan. To celebrate your smell, Morgan, I have put together a beautiful, a gorgeous bingo card. Oh, because we are gonna play Confidently Incorrect Science Bingo, one of my favorite ways to learn. Now I can finally mark my channel as educational and get that sweet, sweet educational ad revenue. Does educational content actually get good ad revenue? Anyway, so speaking of educational, we have AI slop. Can't have educational content without AI slop. I learned something new if we have genuinely learned something today. Bad grammar. Can't have a confidently incorrect video without bad grammar. Woke. Everything I don't like is woke. The word has lost all meaning. Facebook science, which is gonna be like 90% of these posts. Flat Earth, I mean, a bingo like this would totally fall flat without a flat Earth box. Man, I am professionally funny. Political nonsense, Murica. Bad women's anatomy, which is oh so common online. It's fascinating. Conspiracy 101, ranting, geography, anything that makes me go like thumbnail face, tech illiteracy, and illiteracy next to each other. I thought that was very cute. CEO of racism. Fake? No. It's not fake facts. It's fun facts. If you put fun in front of it, you can just make up whatever the fuck you want. Accidental ally. Did I misspell that? Accidental. I think I spelled it right. Anyway, otherwise I'll end up on my own bingo card. Wouldn't that be a twist? Math, which is never, ever, ever correct. Activism and these kind of things, you know, when you have an activist that goes like, I only eat fish because I am a vegan and fish are vegetables, you know that kind of stuff. Disprove self, you know, when someone makes an unhinged argument online and then they post like an article to support their unhinged opinion, but the article actually disagrees with what they say. Yeah, that is surprisingly common. Fake statistics, space is fake, Bible science, and sparkle podcast nonsense. Woo. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video while enjoying your own fantastic smell, Morgan. Oh yes, indeed, Morgan, I am a little bit jealous. By the way, Morgan, you should totally get yourself little Halloween plushies. They're very beautiful. Link down below. Let's get into it, shall we?
Here's an experiment I want to tell you that absolutely proves that...
Okay, can we just pause this for a second? I really appreciate the dramatic music. You know on TikTok that if you hear this music, it's gonna be a scientific revolution. Alright, let's keep playing, shall we?
The Earth don't spin. So let me tell you 100%, I can say with confidence, I'm not no scientist, no engineer, but I can tell you a simple experiment that you can undoubtedly prove the Earth don't spin.
Cool.
It involves a helicopter. I made this experiment up myself, okay? So
nice.
You take a helicopter, you can get up to 15,000 feet. You can sit there and hover. You can hover at 0 miles an hour, literally not go an inch north, south, east, or west. So you hover this helicopter for 4 or 5 hours, 20,000 feet. Did you know that you can come right back down where you took off? Now think about the implications of that.
Wait a second. Helicopters can hover, therefore the Earth doesn't spin, and therefore the Earth is flat. I can do the same experiment and prove that trains don't move. Have you ever tried tossing up something on a moving train and it just comes back down? Does that prove that the train doesn't move? Okay, the obvious answer is obviously that, you know, when the Earth spins, everything spins with it, right? The same way as if you're in a moving train, everything on the train already has the same speed as a train. So unless you're sitting on the roof and whatever you toss up is, you know, subject to air resistance, it's still gonna go forward with the train, hence you can toss a ball or whatever up like this on a train, right? The same thing goes for Earth. If you toss a helicopter in the air, we'll probably come down at the same place unless we really yeet it over the horizon. Anyway, let's look at the bingo card, shall we? On today's bingo card, we have, this is definitely some flat Earth stuff. Absolutely beautiful. I would also put this under podcast nonsense. Is this conspiracy 101? I feel like I'm cheating. I feel kind of like I'm cheating because they all are the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna save this one. I'm not gonna make it too easy for myself. It's gonna be beautiful.
It is blaringly obvious that when leftists speak, every single point they make is about supporting the collective, the greater good. When I read the Constitution, I never once saw anywhere in it protections for the greater good of the collective. Only protections for the greater bad, I guess. But I see over and over again protections for the individual.
Wouldn't that just be protections for the people? Okay. We the people? Oh my god, this is just like that time on Twitter. They started claiming that there are no pronouns in the Bible.
Jesus Christ never introduced himself using pronouns.
I am he, Jesus said. Badoosh. Yeah, okay, so anyway, Twitter, you are delivering yet again for being such a steaming pile of shit. There are a couple of nuggets there on top. You know, like when you have an ice cream, but it's a pile of shit and someone sprinkles gold over it. That's sort of Twitter. Anyway, let's get into the bingo, shall we? This is definitely political nonsense. I would also pop this under some good old Merca, because this is something you only see coming out of Mercan Twitter. That is so beautiful, yes indeed. We are on our way to a bingo. If we only have some sweet old Bad Women's Anatomy and some Conspiracy 101, we're gonna have our first bingo. We're speedrunning this, baby. Look at this quirky picture of this girl using algae as a mustache. That is very funny.
My partner takes me to a beautiful beach at sunset with his family. Me, look, algae mustache. Can't take a psychologist anywhere nice.
Try psychologist instead. Spelling counts, people. Learn how and look it up in the dictionary for a change.
Hi there, Blorp. A psychologist with an H is someone who studies algae. I am a psychologist with an H because I study algae. That's why me putting algae on my face is the joke. So glad to be part of your learning journey today.
Man, that last line goes kind of hard.
I am so glad to be part of your learning journey today.
That's like the most pleasant way I've ever heard someone call someone else an idiot. Anyway, let's get to the bingo card, shall we? I didn't actually know that. I learned something new today. I didn't know, I hope I pronounced it correctly with psychologist with algae. Damn, I'm just imagining having, like, sessions with piles of algae. My brain goes to these wondrous places sometimes, and by wondrous I mean absolutely unhinged.
You have mixed up the cervix and the vajayjay. Are we gonna have some Bad Women's Anatomy? I'm so excited! The vajayjay opens up during arousal, sort of like an umbrella. The cervix sits at the back of the vaginal canal and stays closed unless a woman is giving birth.
No. The cervix open up for deep, when you go really deep, like yeah, very deep, which allows contact with the uterus. Some women thrive on uterine orgasms. That is a word I made up today, because I am so smart. Again, you are all different.
I mean, sorta wholesome last sentence, but that doesn't mean you can just make up whatever you want. Anyway, I am so happy that we are now one step closer to our gorgeous bingo, because we now have Bad Women's Anatomy. Oh my god, if we can just have Conspiracy 101, maybe I should have put it there for the flat earth. That would have been like the most sped run bingo ever. Video, 2.5 minutes long. Bye-bye ad revenue. Meteorologist Blorp.
Category 6, it would be a tornado.
Nope, those are different storms with different processes. Though hurricanes can produce tornadoes, it doesn't affect the overall categorical rating.
Yes, it would be a tornado. Anything above category 5 would be a tornado, yes.
Why are you saying yes to your own statement? That doesn't make it more true.
No!
Why do you go onto like Facebook.com on a public forum and confidently incorrectly argue with a meteorologist instead of just Googling it first? Why are you being stupid on purpose? I don't even know what to put this on. Can I just put this under like concerned emoji? Yeah, I'm gonna put this under concerned emoji. This gives me like a second-hand headache. I didn't think second-hand headaches were a thing, but here we are, baby.
Oh my god. As a nurse, I can't even tell you how many men were shocked that urinary urinary cats, indeed, are not placed in the vajayjay. Yes, there are 3 holes, including the catheter. It's me again, Bad Women's Anatomy, Steve. The vajayjay is all the holes, you ignorant fool. The vajayjay is the whole area in the crooch, including all of the holes. That is why they taught us in sex ed in school, and I will believe a teacher over some idiot on the internet.
Oh my god, the irony is staggering. So you misunderstood sex ed, but then you referred to your poor teacher who tried to teach you this and obviously failed. Poor teacher, my condolences. And then you take that online and be like, my teacher told me this. Bruh. I mean, it's also possible the teacher was just bad at it. That also happens sometimes. To be fair, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, this is a really sweet little Bad Women's Anatomy. Man, it's like a throwback. Didn't we have like a Bad Women's Anatomy bingo recently? Oh my god, this is so beautiful. This is like nostalgia from 2 weeks ago and really bad.
Oh no, he keeps going. No, Bad Women's Anatomy, Steve, don't do this. They do pee out of the vajayjays, you moron. You're joking, right? Guys have questioned how we pee with a tampon in, so I guess that tracks. There are 2 holes in the vajayjay. I shouldn't have to say this. Multiple parts of your body make up the vajayjay. Ah, yes, indeed. Let me mansplain your own parts to you, because I am so smart. I half listened to sex ed once 15 years ago. Sit down, dear women. It's me, Bad Women's Anatomy, Steve. Multiple parts of your body make up the vajayjay, the birth canal, the urethra, the vulva. Vulva? Alright, that's a new thing, I guess. And the clitoris. Yes, indeed, you know what? Bad Women's Anatomy, Steve. I'll give you another little stamp in here, just for good measure. Congratulations. Sigh. Scientists cannot create the basic building blocks of life. They all know it. RNA, DNA. Scientists cannot replicate the function of how one cell became 2 and became 3 and so on. They only have a theory of how one cell became multicell all of a sudden. It's all guesswork. Nothing has been replicated in the lab. Are we talking about the origin of life? Is that what we're talking about? Or are we talking about like RNA vaccines or whatever? Let's find out, I guess. Scientists cannot replicate how a fish became a completely different species. They all know it. Whoa, wait a second. Let's see if I understand this correctly. So you're saying that evolution, that usually happens over like millions of years, can't be real because you can't like buy a little fish in a fish store and bring it to a lab and then just like evolutionary serum and it just turns into a cat. You know that evolution is something that happens over generations and generations and generations. You don't evolve one individual. That's not a thing. You have mutations when you give birth and, selective breeding and all that kind of stuff. That is evolution, not just magically turning a fish into something else. Why does a 10-year-old rock samples tested for carbon dating come up with results of millions of years old or hundreds of thousands of years old when the scientists know their sample is 10-year-old ahead of time? Do you mean that if you pick up a random rock on the beach 10 years ago, the carbon dating would show that it's 10 years old because the rock somehow didn't exist before you picked it up 10 years ago? Is that am I understanding? Is that seriously the argument? Etc. ... I have so many examples of this, but I'm not gonna get into it here. Evolution does not exist, and there's no evidence that it does exist. None at all. So because you can't instantly evolve one single fish, evolution isn't real? Man, this is absolutely amazing. Do I have anything on the bingo card for this? I love this. Hold on. It would just besides... I would put this under like some Facebook science, honestly, because I think this is even on Facebook. This is amazing. Facebook science, here we go. That is absolutely amazing. After World War XI, before they were 5 cents, I think the metal shortage made the price surge. Do you mean World War II? We haven't had an 11th yet. Oh, that's a generational gap right there. You are so young. Now let me explain this to you. Hello, younger person. Greetings from the old, where we still communicated in Roman numerals. Here's a Google link. Used to be on clocks and watches and all kinds of things. Oh, crazy world. Okay, to be fair though, I recently played Jackbox on stream, and one of the little games is like when you have a rotational dial on a phone, and it's so funny because you see right away which players are like millennials or older, or which ones are Zoomers. I mean, this person is completely like off track, but that just reminded me of that. It was very funny. 2 in Roman numerals is this, not 11. It should be World War II, not World War 11. 2 ones next to each other is the number 11. Poor little old person. Anyway, do I have anything on this? It's not really bad math. It's just like
It's just silly. Do I have one that's just silly? No, I don't. I don't really have one that is just like silly. What a shame. You are so clueless, laughing emoji.
If you're going to call someone clueless, you best come with flawless spelling and punctuation. Otherwise, you too look clueless.
What do you think your stands for?
It stands for you are.
Oh my god, at least I have a little band-aid on this very painful read, and that is the fact that you end up on a little bingo card. Woo, bad grammar, isn't that amazing? Now we almost have multiple bingos. We're so close. We almost have the middle row here, and this one is still close. I need a conspiracy 101. Can we please have some more conspiracies going on? Thank you. You Japanese need to learn some geography for once in your lives. This channel is from Pennsylvania, not America. What? And people like you call Americans ignorant. Give me a break.
Isn't Pennsylvania one of the 50 states in America?
This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I knew I put geography here for a reason. Who needs geography when everyone knows the world is just a hexagahedron? Next post.
Oil and gas are not fossil fuels. They are renewable energy source created by geothermal reaction between the solid mantle and liquid core. A biogenic deep origin of hydrocarbons and oil and gas deposit formation. The theory of the abogenic deep origin of hydrocarbons. Oil is the second most plentiful liquid on the planet. The Earth is constantly making more. Oil has nothing to do with dinosaurs or plant material rotting. Fossil fuel is a marketing term and not reality.
I think what they're yapping on about is like some old scientific papers and stuff that were like making oil from rock, but that is something called source rock, if I remember it correctly, which is very heavy biological material, and you just kind of speed up the process and stuff. But it still remains the fact that oil is a very slow process. You know, when you say that it's not renewable, that doesn't mean that it can never occur again. It just means that it's so slow that it's not meaningful in like refilling the supply we have today in the earth, so to say. So this whole post is a little bit unhinged, I suppose. Who needs oil company advertisement when you have silly people on Facebook? Yippee! I am using my Wi-Fi to watch TV. No internet involved. You are writing this on TV then? No. I said I'm using Wi-Fi to watch TV. What part of that didn't you understand? And quite frankly, I am on my phone using a mobile app that uses Wi-Fi or data. I'm not on the internet with it either. Seems like you don't know the difference between the things. You see, I am on Wi-Fi, not on the internet. Wi-Fi isn't internet, you silly, silly person. I'm gonna smack you right under technologically illiterate. Okay, but like in all seriousness, like Wi-Fi is like, you know, a local thing. It's essentially the same as doing like network sharing on your phone. It's just like hotspotting a device that then in turn connects to the internet. You know, your router is the local area network, so to say, that collects everything and then shoots it out into the magical internet. So you're still using the internet. There is just one more device between your device and like the World Wide Web. Magical how that works, but you know, a Wi-Fi still means that you're probably on the internet unless you're only using it locally.
Impactful is not a word. What idea were you trying to convey? Ease? Efficiency?
Yes, it is. Here's a link to the dictionary /impactful.
That is a Weasel word. By the way, it's not in my concise Oxford English dictionary, so it's not a real word.
What do you mean impactful? It's not even like a niche, weird word they're arguing. It's impactful. Anyway, I'm gonna make a very impactful stamp on my bingo card right under some... Ooh! Bad grammar. Oh, yes, indeed. You'll love to see it. Provo Canyon in Utah, USA. That is a very beautiful photo. Look at that. Looks like there might be amazing hiking trails here. This is sus. The river is on the wrong side of the road. I think it's the angle of the drone, but if it's fake, they are getting really good because those pull-offs are spot on. What do you mean fake? It's just a picture. What do you mean wrong side of the road? It may be a mirror image of reality. Provo River is located on the east side of the road. In this picture, the river is on the west side. Equal suspicious. Are you serious? You don't... If you stand on this side of the road that we see on the picture right now, the river is on the left side. If we stood on the other end of the road and took a picture in that direction, the river would be on the right side. Left doesn't always equal west, and right doesn't always equal east. You can turn around. Isn't that a wild concept? Looks like it's looking down the canyon towards Utah Valley, which will put the river on the left side of the road like it's in this pic.
The river doesn't change sides of the road depending on which direction you're traveling.
Right, left, and then you turn around. You see? Wow!
I know this is painful emotional support, Demon, but you need to support me through this. The river is always on the east side of the road. It doesn't matter if you're traveling north or south. I mean, yeah, that is correct. And it can be either on the left side or the right side, depending on you going there or there. Correct, it's always on the east side of the road. However, whichever it's on the left or right does depend on which direction you're traveling. In this pic, it's on the left, which means we're looking at the south. In this picture, the river is on the west side of the road. The river is never on the west side of the road. The river is actually on the east side. It just goes on. It goes on with this person that doesn't understand that left, right, and then you can just turn around. This is absolute bonkers. They think it's a conspiracy instead of just like, you can turn around.
Think you are correct that the river will be on the car's right or left side depending on the direction, but the river is always on the east side of the road regardless of whether you're traveling north to Deer Creek or south to Provo. You might want to get your mansplaining ducks in a row if you're going to attempt mansplaining.
Oh, are they going to mansplaining card? You don't know the difference between left and right and then it's mansplaining? Holy shit. Okay, I want to put this on the rant, because you went on a huge rant, just completely aimlessly, about the difference between left and right, and not being able to comprehend that a picture can be taken from two directions. That is absolutely wild. One of the most pointless discussions I've ever seen on the internet.
If you're a Christian, you're going to have to
It's
pick.
this
Do
again.
you believe NASA or do you believe the Bible? Because here
Is this
it in the
real?
Bible.
Or is this a
God made
parody?
The sun and the moon and the stars. 3 different words. It differentiated the sun and the moon and the stars on the first page of the book. Okay? Now, what does NASA tell you? The sun is a star, and the stars are the sun. The sun don't twinkle. You ever heard the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? They wrote that back a long time ago. The sun and the stars are different. The sun will never twinkle. It is not a star. It's a great light to rule the day. They're habitual liars. They'll lie again and again. They'll lie to your face. They'll steal your money. And that's what I'm telling you NASA is. It is demonic. The satellites are on balloons, buddy. They put it on a balloon, and then it floats. It's that simple. They fall down all the time. What do they got attached to them? Every time. Balloon. Balloon.
Totally don't believe that we've been to the moon.
Well, thank God, because I think it's actually anti-Christian. I think as a Christian, you have to have discernment. Who is the enemy?
Hey.
Why are they? Who's trying to pervert the truth? NASA is perverting the truth.
Right.
Where's the stars in the background?
Is this serious?
Stars, guys.
Yeah.
And so you got to have spiritual discernment, because this is the devil lying to you to try to make you think that there's no God. Believe in satellites that actually contradict themselves. They're traveling 20,000 miles an hour plus all around the Earth. How many is it? Supposedly 100,000. They ain't ever hitting each other. They don't need no maintenance.
Yeah.
And I know that these evil people have perverted the truth, and they're lying to children.
I mean, don't need maintenance. There's plenty of trash in space. There's actually like a worry for the future that if we keep shooting up satellites and they just, go defunct and just keep floating around or they're breaking, whatever, we're going to be encapsulated by such a tight cluster of garbage that you won't be able to shoot up anything new. That is actually like a legitimate concern, like the clutterification of space around the Earth. And is this real? I can't tell if this is real. This is amazing. So the sun isn't real because of the children's song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Okay. and NASA is lying and satellites aren't real. What do I even put this on? I mean, this is definitely under some podcast nonsense again. It's so amazing. There is so much like garbage and rage bait on the internet nowadays, but also so much actual legitimate conspiracy stuff that I can't even tell what is serious and what isn't anymore. I don't know what's satire anymore. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, I would put this on the Conspiracy 101 for our first bingo. Oh, I am so proud of myself. We have Conspiracy 101, Bad Women's Anatomy, Merca, Political Nonsense, and Flat Earth. I am so proud of this. This is absolutely beautiful. Let's see if we can get a few more.
Drake makes music for people who follow billionaire mindset accounts on here.
That is an insane burn.
You tweeted this at 5 in the morning. He certainly has a hold over you.
I'm in the UK.
5 a.m. is 5 a.m. Don't embarrass yourself any further. He still lives rent-free in your mind. Time zones aren't real. News just in from Glorp and Blorp on Twitter. Speaking of Glorp and Blorp, this must mean that the Earth is flat because time zones aren't real. Oh my God, we solved it. Woo!
I think, yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Thank you. Musky Husky. Can't recommend the Iliad enough. Best as Penguin audiobook at 1.25 speed. The Odyssey. Well, it's not the same book. Smartest man alive. You are actually R-worded and don't even know it, Lemao. Mad funny how someone who went through any sort of education doesn't understand what the Iliad is. 2-part epic poetry, last link to Bronze Age Greek history. It is extremely important. I read both the Iliad and the Odyssey in school. They are two very different stories. They are part of the same story, screwball. No, girl. The Iliad is all about Achilles and the Trojan War, and the Odyssey is all about Odysseus trying to get home. He's barely present in the Iliad. The Odyssey isn't a sequel. We don't even know if they were written by the same person. I don't understand why people double down on the silliest stuff anyway. What should we put this under? I'm gonna put this under a little bit of literacy, maybe. That's pretty funny. Boop. So we have another bingo. Oh my god, I'm so happy about this. Happy with like a really nice side sprinkle of pain. I feel like this is a very top-heavy bingo, isn't it? That is kind of fascinating. I've never seen it like that before. Today's video is a statistical anomaly. Tråd, oh my god, whoever took the screenshot is Swedish. What is the answer? What percent of 50 is 20? 40%, 50%, 60%, or 70%?
Oh my, this question. Obvious answer is it's none of them. Completely missing the nuance. Percent is from Latin per centum, meaning by the 100. Last time I checked, 50 ain't 100. A laughing emoji in parentheses, because it's just a little bit of laughing. And so it's statistically, mechanically, and financially impossible to answer this question. Gets the job. What the f***?
So, sales tax of 6.25% can only be taken from things ringing in at exactly $100?
Yes, that is it. Explain to me why else so many items are priced at 99 cents or $99. Parentheses again, hint, avoids tax, thereby multiplying revenue streams and profitability.
That is actually impressive. That is impressive. This person has genuinely convinced themselves that these two things are actually connected. That is legitimately impressive, that you can take a percentage from something that isn't a whole 100 number. By the way, the answer to the question is 40%, because 50 and 20 just multiply both by 2 if you want to make it easy, and then you have 40 of 100, you know? It's super simple. But the fact that you can't take percentages of stuff that isn't a whole 100, it's also the whole thing that everything being priced 99 is to avoid taxes. It's just a psychological thing. You can try this yourself if you've ever run, for example, a store page or anything. Whenever you put something as a number that ends in 99 instead of like rounding it upwards, so to say, more people will buy it because our brain very often only reads the first number. It's a psychological thing that makes you believe that things are cheaper than they actually are. So it's all about marketing psychology. It has nothing to do with like dodging taxes.
Well, I'm so glad we have a little bingo card for this. We have math. Math is apparently really hard.
This isn't even advanced math. This is like some 5th grade level. Vienna is in Austria. Australia is about 8,000 miles east.
Vienna is the capital of Australia. Lol. Do a quick Google before we correct people. Look, here is Austria.
I mean, I sort of relate to the pain. My poor little dyslexitive butt relates to this pain.
But fam, come on.
I also love how this person has more likes than the person who is actually correct.
So they're gonna go home thinking like, yeah, I totally ratioed this fool. They don't know anything about Australia.
Okay, hold on. Before I forget, we have a bingo card for this. We have geography, which is absolutely amazing. I would also say that this disproves self. You know, it's one of those instances where they literally post a piece of evidence. Here's a screenshot of this map that literally says I'm wrong. And for some reason, Twitter lets them ratio the person that is correct. So now they're gonna go home and believe that, oh my god, I'm so smart, man. I know how to Google things and then misread them. This is why we're getting dumber. Stop allowing people who are stupid to have ratios. God damn it. Does this sub not have mods? This is the most racist thread I have seen on Reddit in years. I know, right? I love hearing about how Reddit is a liberal echo chamber when all the racist bot comments have like 100 plus upvotes.
People are waking up to this nasty species. I don't want them anywhere near me or my family. And most real humans feel the same way.
What do you mean? What do you mean about species? That word doesn't mean what you think it means. Wow, you know who I don't want near my family? People as hateful as you. You sound like a psychopath. We're all Homo sapiens, by the way. Exactly. Sorry, that doesn't fit your narrative.
Actually, their biology is different from real humans. Their brain is smaller and I'm missing a prefrontal cortex.
This person has no idea what they're talking about. Have you ever noticed this? This is like a piece of irony that I find absolutely staggering whenever you see people like this. They are going on and on and on and on about this like racial biology stuff, which they call species for some reason in the first place. And they're talking about how these other people must have like underdeveloped brains because they're so stupid. And yet they have these like kind of misunderstandings and misconceptions and obvious stupidity. How can you claim that you are like intellectually superior when this is the level of intellect you have to show? Are you kidding me? Missing a prefrontal cortex? That's literally objectively false. Why are you speaking if you've never actually been educated in biology? And you think science will back up your blatant and disgusting racism? Think again.
Google it yourself. Science proved they have significantly smaller brains.
I'll take any peer-reviewed source you can give me and I'll take it seriously. If you're going to tell me to Google Uncle Ed's Scientific Discoveries website and take that as truth, you're an idiot. By the way, I think your Nazis starting to peek out with all that eugenics poo.
Here is a link to an article.
Although there were no statistically significant difference in total gray matter, total white matter, or ventricular CSF volumes. In models examining specific brain regions, the only statistically significant difference was that African American exhibited a larger left OFVC volumes than Caucasians. Yep, you're just an idiot, co-parter. Wait, did they actually link an article that says the opposite of what they're... Oh my god, that is... Oh my god. Oh, these people, man. I swear to God. Why is it always the people that literally cannot read that claim that other people are somehow stupid? It's astounding. Let me just give you an article that proves I'm in fact wrong and a complete idiot. This guy... This is extremely common, sadly. During peak COVID denialism, many folks would link articles to prove their harebrained arguments and quote like half a sentence out of context. When you point out the actual paper concludes the opposite, they just stop responding. You would hope it would make them consider they may be wrong, but no, they double down and go comment the same nonsense elsewhere. This is absolutely astounding. Well, this definitely lands under disproving self. You know that when you post a source that literally disproves what you're trying to argue, it's amazing. And this person is also the CEO of racism. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I would kind of put it under fake stats, but they didn't really present any factual statistics. So I'm going to keep that box for something else. Congratulations, you are now the CEO of racism.
Well, that simply just wouldn't work. Texas alone has more miles of road than Europe does in its entirety. I am pretty sure. I'm not gonna Google this, but I'm pretty sure about it. There is just too many miles of road in the US to make it a plausible option. Maybe for certain sections of certain highways or interstates, though.
Geography. There's a surprising amount of geography in this video. That's kind of cute, though. Geography and people just getting things wrong like that is most of the time just kind of funny. You know, the person like... who didn't know that Austria and Australia are different countries.
Have you ever tried to press a flaxseed? Does any juice or oil come out? No, hence they make up this bullshit manufacturing process to make oil. Even if they say it's cold pressed, it's not. The seed simply doesn't have enough oil content.
For those keeping score at home, I would like to point out, oil contents of olives, 10 to 35%. Oil contents of flax seeds, 35 to 45%. Weird flax, but okay. Oh, I should have had puns on my card. It is so sad that I do not. What do we even put this under? What do we even put this? I'm just going to put this under like concerned emoji. Heck yes, beautiful. Well, nothing can have oil in it, I suppose, unless you can't literally squeeze it with your hands.
If the sun exploded, we would only find out 11 years later.
How did you get to that conclusion?
It's a scientific fact. Search it up. I'm not gonna Google it ahead of time to see if I'm saying the right thing. But you should search it up. because that would prove me right.
Oh my god, what a fun fact! It's a fun fact! It's so much haha!
Wow, that was a fun fact. Oh my god, we almost have another bingo. If we just get some more fake stats, we have another bingo. Wow, I'm so happy. No. So does the Bible really lie about the age of the earth? Check this. Again, simple math, y'all. No, don't do the math. Don't do the math in a Facebook comment, please. I was thinking, people say the Earth and people are millions of years old. Sounds good. Some say 100,000. Sounds good also. I believe contrary. Then I hear, so you believe a mysterious God created everything 8,000 years or so ago? Chuckles. I laughed also because it was funny that people can't even do simple math. Shall we? Pay attention to what a math teacher showed me. I seriously doubt a math teacher showed whatever you're about to do, but okay. Let's do some simple math real quick. Correct me if I am wrong. The Earth population increases 1% or 75 million every year. Every 82 years, nearly half of the population is wiped out. Okay, I sort of see where you're going with this, okay? Like, it's a very weird way of formulating it, but alright. According to people who believe human beings are 2 million years old. Oh, now I see where you're going with this. 2 million times 75 million is 150 trillion. Divided by 82 is 1.8 trillion people. Where are all these people? Okay, now I see what the argument is. So you think that the population growth of people have been absolutely completely linear throughout the entirety of human existence for 2 million years in this example, and we would have grown by 75 million people just every single year for that entire point. But the funny thing is that you also say it increases by 1% a year, which of course means that 1% would be a vastly different number depending on how big the already existing population is. I mean, that is not the case. There are many things in human history that vastly affects population growth. For example, agriculture is one of these things, like when we actually started doing things that could support a larger population than just hunter-gathering stuff, and so on and so forth. There are many aspects, technological, food-wise, disease, child mortality rates, etc., how many kids people choose to have, the fact that population is expected to, for example, kind of pan out at around, I think the current projections are like 11 billion. They change sometimes, so take that number with a grain of salt, of course, but that is based on like how many kids are born versus how many kids are already existing in the generations, and when that fills up the entire pyramid of age, blah, 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 that is where it's going to pan out if nothing drastically changes, which of course it still could. So the point is that population growth is pretty complex. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So saying that, human existence is a conspiracy because you have made up in your little brain that we would have a linear population growth of 75 million for the entirety of human existence, even if there wasn't even that many people to begin with, it would still have increased magically by that number. You just made all this up. You just made all this up as a counterpoint to an argument that no one has made. Okay, let's do one better. People are 100,000 years old. 100,000 times 75 million is this many, which is 91.4 billion people. Don't you think the population growth would follow more logic? That's the wildest part with this. No one is arguing that this is how population growth works. Wouldn't you think that, I don't know, people would have just starved to death and society would have collapsed and we would never have reached 91 billion people in the first place? No, that's not. Why is this so disconnected from how reality works? Now, according to the Bible, here we go. The earth and people is around 8,000 years old, give or take, 100, 200 years. The flood came 1,000 years afterwards, so let's say minus 1,000. 7,000 times 75 million is the big number divided by 82, which is 6.4 billion people, which is more accurate. You're welcome. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's okay. You proved something that adds up with the current population of humanity by taking essentially a made-up number about population growth, which is based on 1% of current population, which has nothing to do with historical population. I seriously doubt there was 6 billion people 7,000 years ago, okay? So even if you wanted to make the argument of 1% population growth, it still wouldn't add up. It's not a 1% population growth if it's not 1% of the current population. Dear God, this math is just... Oh my God, okay. Calm down, Click. Calm down. You're getting a little math stamp. You're also getting a Bible science stamp. Holy shite. How can you mess up this many pieces of math? This is what happens, people. This is what happens when you try to make an argument backwards. When you're like, I want to prove this, so I'm gonna construct my math backwards so it proves the thing I initially wanted to prove. That's called scientific bias, and it's trash. The sun is a projection. It is obvious here. The sun is only one color, yet somehow the colors change as it goes over the mountains. Give me a hard one. You wanna be NASA suckers? NASA suckers? Do I have a brand new sentence on my bingo card? I don't think I do. The sun gives off every color. That's how prisms and rainbows work, dumbass. Okay, this is a flat earth stuff. That's amazing. I don't think I've ever read a sentence like that. NASA pee-pee suckers. Imagine being so confidently arrogant. I am not British, I'm English, flags! Wrong flag. What's the right one? You don't know what the English flag is? This is the one, in case you're wondering. That's just a reverse Danish flag. Not at all. It's a simplified version of the flag of Georgia. Flags are difficult, therefore I'm putting this under geography. Absolutely gorgeous. Whoops, that's my little stream setup. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You should check out my streams. I have a walking emotional support team in the corner. Anyway, next post, please. France is known for wine. Japan is known for sushi. Brazil is known for carnival. What is Ireland known for? Guinness and potatoes, I suppose. I love Guinness. If you've never been to Guinness Storehouse, can definitely recommend it. Braveheart, but it'll never take our freedom. That's Scotland, you clown. Same island!
Why is there so much geography in this video?
r/mildly infuriating. I emailed HR after noticing a pay error. This was their response. Dear Blorb, I am writing you to confirm that your 10% pay raise was applied to your pay during the work period from August 11 to August 25. Your new hourly rate is $26.38. Below is a breakdown of the calculation. Previous pay raise, $26.35. Okay, so you increased it by 3 cents. You would imagine that someone could just look at this and be like, 3 cents probably isn't 10% of $26. You know, there's nothing in these numbers that would even suggest it. Like, even if you got the zeros wrong, this still doesn't add up. New pay rate calculation, 26.35 multiplied by parentheses 1 plus 0.10 divided by 100. No! They increased it by like what? 0.1% or something? No! Enjoy your 0.1% pay raise. Oh boy, we have competitive salaries in this company. If you have any questions and need further clarification, please don't hesitate to reach out. Best regards. What's the most pleasant way of telling someone they're like a absolute moron? Anyway, so I'm gonna put this on the bad math. Can you imagine having your salary shafted because your HR rep doesn't know how to do basic percentage math? Instead of giving a 10% increase, they give a 0.1% increase. Enjoy your 3 cents, Birch. It's kinda cringe they're referring to women at the Olympics as femmes. It's cringe they're referring to women at the French Olympics as women in French. Brother, are you high? French has nothing to do with this entire phrase. It's English. Look at it. They're calling it a subdivision. I love the subtle implication of butch qualification subdivisions. And next on the high jump sub-bottoms category, we have... Is this a woke argument? I think it is. Oh my god, that's amazing. That is so beautiful. We have another bingo. Oh, we also have a diagonal bingo! How long did that take me to notice? I should totally have a bingo square. It took a click long to realize you had a bingo. That is absolutely gorgeous. We're so close to multiple bingos. This is so exciting.
Well, they can go on spacewalk in a cloth suit with no problems. But a solid steel drum is crushed like a tin can under vacuum.
Well, you do realize that one is like designed to have it, and also the pressure is like kind of opposite. One is positive and one is negative. It also is the difference between the exterior and the interior that makes like the big pressure come true, right? This is the same reason that, for example, that submarine imploded a while ago. It's because you have like an internal bubble that is way different pressure than the exterior. The reason why like other stuff doesn't just compress is because they don't have that like bubble of stuff inside of them. That is what creates the pressure difference, which makes it go. So it all depends on design and what kind of pressure you're talking. This is silly. But oh wait, I have something for this. Wait. Didn't I have... space is fake. Space isn't real. Because I saw this picture on Facebook of a barrel, so space isn't real.
A little while ago, I posted a photo showing a sun simulator. Does anybody want to compare that sun simulator that I posted a while back to what just washed up on the shore in Florida? This is what happens to wash up on the beach in Florida. Look, this is the sun. This is the sun. This was, ignore the size, you know, the fact that this would be super far away, but this is a sun. It totally couldn't be something else.
Is this also an argument that the Earth is flat? I guess the sun isn't real. Do we have something for that? No, flat Earth. Here we go.
Ah, yes indeed. You know that a bingo doesn't fall flat with some flat Earth. Flat Earth research. That is a wild sentence to title your group. Anyway, a compass cannot work on a ball. Okay, so apparently it can't work, but it works on a surface because they're all pointing to the giant magnetic pile in the middle. Because magnetic fields can only be linear, I suppose. I mean, you can literally do this as an experiment at home, in your house with magnets you buy. But anyway, you can actually that's a fun experiment. If you have, for example, what's it called? Like metal sand. I don't know what the exact word is in English. Put it on paper, put a magnet in the middle, and you can see like the little metal pieces forming themselves after the magnetic field. It's kind of fascinating. So yeah, no, magnetic fields aren't just a straight line. Oh wait, this is also on the oh, I almost forgot. Flat Earth. We have so many stamps on Flat Earth. That is beautiful.
So, water expands when frozen. So when the polar ice melts, the ocean water level goes down, right?
Okay. It would if all the ice was floating. But alas, it ain't. So if you freeze something, you can do this experiment at home. If you put a little piece of ice in a glass of water and let it melt, the water level remains the same, because how much it pushes away is equal to the mass in the ice, right? So it melts, it remains the same. But if you hold the ice cube above the water, it will increase when it drips into the water, and that is what happens in reality. Where are all tectonic plates situated?
Tectonic plates aren't real, and we were created by Jesus Christ 2024 years ago.
What do you... Not even the Bible says this. Where did you get this from? This is not even what the Bible claims. Oh my god, man. Archaeological marvels. Exciting news. Massive gold vein found under the mountain. Oh, so this is how it looks. You just go on like a little like spring thing in the mountains, and there's just tons of gold piles laying around. I can't tell if this is like Photoshop poorly, or if it's bad AI. I think maybe bad AI because it looks like the water is like floating. It's really weird.
X marks the gold, embarking on treasure trails, revealing the hidden abundance of gold and diamonds.
Hidden abundance. In this picture, the ground is littered with gold and diamonds. What on earth do you mean hidden? Dear God. So this person crawling on the ground just casually found like a diamond the size of their skull on the beach. Yeah. And what is this bottom picture? Is that second thing supposed to be a hand? This must be botched AI. This is all botched AI. I'm calling it. This is all AI. This is trash. And there we go. Oh my god. That one gave us a triple bingo. This is so good. We have AI, learn something new, bad grammar, woke, and Facebook science. And down here we have AI, this one used to be Flat Earth, rant, CEO of racism, and disproving self. And here we have AI, political nonsense, Facebook, no, not the thumbnail face emoji, math, and podcast nonsense. I think that's the first triple bingo we ever had in one of these videos. That is so beautiful. A dead carcass in the mud. Komodo dragon can smell the carcass. Look at that Komodo dragon. They are really badass.
Kill Komodo, save harmless good animals.
Komodo dragons are also good for the ecosystem. Wait, what do you mean? Kill Komodo, save the carcass in the mud. That poor living carcass. This must be some fake activism. That is so beautiful, which means we have another bingo. Man, I am so excited about this bingo. I'm like sweating a bit. That is so beautiful. Oh my god, can we have more bingos? I'm not addicted to bingos, I promise.
Trans rats are not human rats.
I love the symbolism of a trans flag surrounded by fire, but remaining unburnt. Did they accidentally... Oh my god, okay, I need to put this on the bingo card in a very specific way, alright? I think this is pretty obviously AI, right? But I would also put it under accidental ally, because they meant to be transphobic, but they accidentally made just a really badass picture. Which means we have another double bingo. Oh, that is beautiful.
Most people don't realize that interbreeding with other races means that strangers on the street from your own race are more related to you than your own child. Amplify this, Elon Musk, and spread the knowledge. No.
Oh my god. Ah yes, if you have interracial marriage, you might as well just steal a child from the street. This has to be some CEO of racism stuff. Oh my god. These people are absolutely unhinged, man. Holly has something very important to share with you all.
I would rather go without oxygen for 24 hours than without God for 1 minute. Oxygen, invented in the 1700s. God, since forever. You see, and before Newton invented gravity, we could also fly. That's why I am in the movement Frick Newton. Anyway, so we're this is different from Bible science, but oh dear God.
That is so funny. I would also call this technologically illiterate. That is so funny. What's the point of you being trans when you make no effort to pass? You still look like a cis woman, lol. Oh baby, you have it the wrong way. Oh, I love it when transphobe tries so hard to be hateful, but they don't know what they're talking about to the point they're actually supportive. This is just a very classic, very beautiful, accidental ally moment. Oh my god, and with that, the bingo is complete. Isn't that beautiful? Man, what a good tally. What a good tally. I'm so happy with this bingo. We had a triple bingo here today. That is just, that means celebration, emotional support team, and you get to fly into space. Don't worry, space isn't real. I do hope you enjoyed this beautiful bingo as much as I enjoyed having you here, you wonderful, beautiful bean, and I hope to see you again in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.